Greetings everyone, my name is Anup Yadav and today I am going to talk about Uniform Civil Code. So you must have seen recently that India's Prime Minister from the ramparts of Red Fort in Delhi, he said that they are in discussion about bringing UCC, and this time they also included a mention of the Supreme Court of India. Because many a times we have seen that the Supreme Court of India has also actively supported, actively proposed UCC, Uniform Civil Code. So today I would want to go a little bit in depth about what UCC is and why it is necessary to be implemented in India right now. If you ask my political inclinations, then I'm not a BJP fan, but I'm also not a hardcore Congressy. But in this particular instance, when it comes to dealing with uniform civil code, I would say that I would be in favor of implementing this law. It's not just that there is one reason for me to support UCC. There are a plethora of reasons because of which I support UCC. And the first among is that, many people would say that UCC has to deal with religions, but no, UCC does not have to deal with religions. It is not in favor of one particular religion, or it is not targeting one particular religion. The thing is, UCC, we need UCC because we want to give up the women, the children of this country, more secure, more safe, more egalitarian, more dignified life. Yes, it is the dignity, it is the protection of children's and women that would be granted, that would be ensured if we have UCC very well implemented across this country. Now, some of you would ask why and how UCC is related to women's dignity and also children's dignity. You see, I would not gloss over the entire facts of the UCC, but there are a few points which I would be explaining in detail. But first, let's understand what is UCC. UCC, or Uniform Civil Code, as the words say, it is a uniform set of laws and regulations which would be applicable uniformly to all the citizens of this country without discrimination of religion, race, caste, sex, place of birth, or any of them, as it is mentioned in Article 15 of this Constitution. So this is what we are trying to achieve. We are trying to apply a set of uniform laws and which would be applicable to all the citizens of this country. Now, this would give rise to a question in your mind. Does it mean that right now not every citizen of this country is subjected to the same set of rules? You see, there is a catch here. Right now, when it comes to criminal matters, every citizen of this country is subjected to the same rule. But when it comes to personal matters, matters like divorce, marriage, succession, inheritance, and like matters, citizens are not subjected to the same set of rules. It is mostly how the religious customs of that religion which guides these laws, and these religious customs, they are also coded. So for example, if we talk about Hindus, then we have our Hindu laws codified by the parliament in the 1950s, and that's why Hindus are governed. When it comes to personal matters as well, Hindus are governed by parliamentary laws. On the contrary, if we look into Muslims, Jews, Christians, Parsis, these are the four communities which are governed under the Shariat Act of 1937, which literally is based on Sharia and which is not a codified law. It came before the enactment of the Constitution of India, and these are really not at all coded laws. And these Shariat laws, they are very much, I would say, in favor of man. They do not provide that much of flexibility, that much of dignity to women. Even you should note that this does not mean that I want to implement Hindu set of laws, the Hindu code that was implemented by the parliament in 1955. I don't want to implement that Hindu set of laws upon the Muslims, upon the Jews, upon the Christians. Rather, what I want is a uniform set of laws, and this uniform set of laws would be universally accepted, not entirely based upon the Hindu customs, not entirely based upon the Hindu laws that Hindus, along with Sikhs, Christians, and Jains, right now are subjected to. So, I think first of all, this very concept is clear that we are not implementing a UCC to curtail the religious beliefs, to stifle the religious beliefs of one particular religion. We are implementing this because we want uniformity of laws when it comes to personal matters, matters like marriage, divorce, succession, inheritance, and life. I think now I would be going into how these personal matters, how these laws on these personal matters are impacting women's lives, their dignity, their safety, their security, and also children's as well. So the first example that I would take is about marriage. You see, right now when it comes to the Hindus, we are governed under the Hindu Act, and that particular act clearly specifies that a Hindu can marry only once. He can have only one live wife. It means that if a wife of a Hindu person dies, then the said person can marry a second person, but he cannot have two wives simultaneously. However, the same is not the case when it comes to Muslims. The Muslims, they can have up to four wives. I mean, I don't have any problem with how many wives they are taking, but we all have seen, this is a universally known fact, that in polygamy, the dignity of women is greatly reduced. They don't have the same sense of respect. Their lives become much more less safer, and I mean, we live in a country where the socio-economic situation of this country is not very well, and as such, we know that if one person has more than one wife, and if with each of those wives he has two, three children, then the family size would be so large that it would become almost impossible for most families to take care of these families, to give better life to their families, to their women, to their children. And that's why this issue of polygamy, we need to abolish this. We need to bring monogamy. But right now I'm not saying that we want to bring monogamy to Muslims, because Hindu laws provide for such. You think monogamy is a universally accepted law, universally accepted fact right now, that in monogamy women are more safe, women are more happy, women are more prosperous. And let's jump on to the next issue, that is of divorce. I mean, when it comes to Hindus in India, we have the CRPs which deals with divorce, and it clearly says that in the case of the section 125 of CRPC, now it has been replaced with Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita. So section 125 of CRPC, it says that if a woman is unable to maintain herself after divorce, then the man is liable to pay certain set of maintenance and alimony, depending upon the case, to that particular woman. You see, this is very important given the context in which women they come to the house of the groom. They literally leave their whole career. They put aside their career aspirations, and they, mostly women, they give their full time to the house of the groom. I mean, this is really a great service, and they are literally putting aside their career. And if in unfortunate case she is getting divorced from her husband, she should be compensated for the life that she gave away, because she was busy in preparing that life at the groom's house. And that's why I say that it is very much necessary that we should have the provisions for maintenance and alimony. But at the same time, if we look into Muslims along with Christians, Jews, and Parsis, we see that there is not this provision for continued maintenance. You see, there is a provision for maintenance, but this maintenance is for only during the iddat period, which is usually 3 months. But in the case when the woman is pregnant, the iddat period can be extended up to the duration of pregnancy. But after that, no, there is no provision for further maintenance to the women. And in this certain respect, the Supreme Court of India in the 1985, the Shah Banu case, they also delivered a landmark judgment bringing the women of minority religions in India under the ambit of Section 125 of CRPC. However, given the immense pressure that the Rajiv Gandhi government of that time was, the government was forced to bring in a legislation and reverting the decision of the Supreme Court. So this is the second issue that I would like to discuss here, is that divorce and the subsequent maintenance that is provided to women and also necessary to women given in the socio-economic setting of India. It is not provided in the minority communities, and that's why it's important that we bring this minority laws. And that's why it's important that we bring this uniform civil code. So there are other methods as well that we need to discuss, and we need to understand why it is important that we need UCC to be implemented in India. And if you like my content, then continue following me to get in-depth information about more such topics.